Hi, and welcome to the next lesson at Hummy's World in the designer class. I believe this is lesson 68. If you love to design, I invite you to come do all of the lessons. Just come to hummysworld.com and find the designer guide in the sidebar, and you will see all the lessons. This one is on creating flares. Now I have here a flare template that I created. It took me a long time, I want to say at least a year ago, to create this template, and now that I have it created, I use it all the time. And I'm going to have it available in my store for you to purchase for just a few bucks, $2 or $3. I'm not sure what I'm going to put it up there for. And you're welcome to use it for commercial use purposes, just like I do. But I am also going to show you the layer effects that I have here, so that if you want to copy it and make it your own, you can do so. So I start here, it's just a circle base, and then I have this transparent top layer. Now the top layer has this glare to make it seem like the light is shining and hitting it on the top up here. Some of the many, it seems like, of the flares out there that I see, to me, this is too harsh. It seems like somebody is out there selling one, and for me, it seems too harsh. And so I created my own. And here is the effects palette. I'm, of course, in the full version of Photoshop, and I'm not sure you can do all of this in Photoshop Elements. But the first thing is the blending options. The fill opacity is at 0. If you look over here, the fill opacity is at 0 here too. You change it here and it affects it here. And then I have a bevel and emboss, and I'm gonna pause here for a moment, and you can pause the video and copy down the settings if you would like to do so. And here is the contour settings. I am not sure which one I used. That's what my contour looks like. I have an inner glow, and here are those settings. So feel free to pause the video and copy down the settings if you want. And the satin. So those are the settings that I played around with forever to create the transparent top. Now, what I think most people forget or don't realize is there's actually a glare at the bottom, and you cannot get that with just one layer style. You need to have another layer style, and so I have one called bottom, and you see how this comes up, and it has this bottom glare, so the whole thing looks more rounded and looks more like there's an actual top to it. See, without it, it looks just like a button, but with it, it looks like it's more like a flare with more depth. And all I have on this one is a fill opacity of 0 and a bevel and emboss. And I will pause again and let you look and jot these down if that's what you want to do. Here is the contour. And if you don't want to create your own and have just a few bucks to spend, you're more than welcome to come and just get mine and use it for commercial use also. And certainly in um, Photoshop elements, it might be only possible to use it with my styles. I'm not sure if you have all those settings available to you. So let's go ahead and I'm in the full version of Photoshop, but this can be done in Photoshop Elements. And let's go ahead and make a flare. Here's some flares that I initially made when I made this flare template for myself. And ever since then, I've been crazy and wanting to make lots of flares because it's so easy to do. I kind of saved this for myself because I like how I have imagined some of the way and placements for text. So I often will come back to this file that I have saved and use it to make my flares. But basically, I have this kit here, a mini kit that I'm giving away for free on my Facebook page right now. It might not be there when you're reading this a month from now, if you're watching this a month from now, but a little mini kit I made, and I didn't make any flares in it. I decided just to go with some little squares for my text. And so I'm going to use these papers to make a flare. And I have my file, my working file that I've been working in. Here's the flower that I extracted. So I'm going to make that invisible. And here is my flare template. And so I'm going to hold down my Shift, I think, and Control key, and click down on the top layer in the template, and then click down on the bottom layer, and it highlights them all. And I'm going to keep my fingers down, and I'm just going to hold here in the layers palette and grab, and you see it's pulling all 5 layers, and drop it over here on my working file. And then I can just close out my template. I'm going to cancel that and just save it up there for right now. As I don't know what changes I had made to it. So here it is in my 12 by 12, and you can see the size. If you want to change the size, you can, but that might affect the styles. The styles are meant to work with this size of flare. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into here and grab one of these papers I made, and I'm just going to hold down my Alt key and clip it to the base. And so now I have some texture on my flare. I actually kind of feel like it needs to be a little bit smaller, the texture. That feels more pleasant to me. So that's from my paper. And I'm going to go ahead and work with the text. Now, make sure you use commercial use fonts. I would have to look up to see which ones. I have a file to see which fonts of mine are. I think this needs to be that brown text. Let's see. Here's my color palette I was using. There. Got to make it match my kit here. And then I'm going to change this next text because the name of the kit was Pretty in Pink. We did it for the DigiHop that you can go find it, digihop.info. Let's make this maybe pink. Probably the easiest way to do that is to go get my pink here. And see, it's not dark enough. So I would have to play around with this for a while. But you're kind of getting the idea. Pretty in pink, and I'm going to go get that brown again for now, the lighter brown. So there we have it, and that could be the Flair right there. But you can take it further. There are, of course, this needs to be a little more centered because I changed the text. I don't like this font. There, that looks better. And of course I keep rearranging it. That needs to go up to be centered, and now this needs to go up and over. And probably both of them need to go over this way, so you know, you would just keep playing and hit save, Control S. But there are lots of more things that you can do. Let's say I want to come in here. Let's get a custom shape. I have an arrow chosen, so let's just go with that. And let's say, you know, I wanted to put an arrow in there, and then you would clip it with that base again. The arrow is not really working for me, so I'm going to delete it. Let's say I just wanted a rectangle shape, and let's see, I want it in, I don't know, you just got to keep playing. See, I have no idea what I'm doing here right now. Let's say I want it in this white color, and I'm going to go ahead and just draw it on the top section. It's a little too large, and I'm going to clip it to the base. And there, now my pretty in pink is on a banner. It looks like it needs to come down a little bit. I want it to cover the Y. There, that looks pretty good. Now that gives me a little bit more freedom with my colors to make this color this pink. And I'm going to have to darken it up just a little bit. So I would go ahead and continue playing with it like this and changing things around. You know, this layer might need to take on, I changed it to hue to take on that texture in the paper. So there we go. We would just keep playing, but that's how you would make your flares. It's pretty easy once you have the two layers, the transparent top and transparent bottom, and then you just have to get creative with your text and with your placement of your text and what you fill it with, your papers and things like that. So I look forward to seeing what you all do, and I do hope that you share with me. Bye.